Is he blackmailed? MTG questions Speaker Johnson's complete departure over abortion, illegals, DOJ funding. It's obvious. It's obvious that Mike Johnson is not the leader that he portrayed himself to be. He came out swinging, saying he was going to do all these things. He was going to start holding people accountable and all these other things, and none of it is happening. It's because they have dirt on him. And that's for the majority of government. That's how they get in government. They would not get to that high power if the powers that be, if the deep state didn't have dirt on him. And they have some dirt on him, so that's why he's not following through on any of his promises, basically giving government a blank check for anything they want to do, and it's wild. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Talk about what Marjorie Taylor Greene said on Tucker Carlson show. We'll play a clip of that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Zero Hedge, and they report that Marjorie Taylor Greene suggested that House Speaker Mike Johnson is being blackmailed because of his complete departure from Republican concerns, saying the Louisiana Republican, quote, has completely changed his character. He's like a totally different person. But, quote, Mike Johnson has completely changed his character in a matter of about 5 months after he has become Speaker of the House, Greene told Tucker Carlson in a recent episode of Tucker Carlson Uncensored. Carlson pointed to Johnson's meeting with Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky, after which Johnson said that the second congressional recess ends, quote, his number one priority at a moment when the U.S. is being invaded is to send $60 billion to Ukraine, possibly as a loan. Now, again, remember, before he became speaker, he was talking about defunding these things and holding government accountable and things like that. So let's go scroll down here and we'll play the clip here. Grab my headphones. All right, here we go.
Mike Johnson has completely changed his character in a matter of about 5 months after he has become Speaker of the House. Mike Johnson is a Christian. He called himself a conservative, always has been. He's a Republican member, but yet here we are after the minibus was passed just almost 2 weeks ago in Washington, and now with the $60 billion going to a war in Ukraine that 70% of Americans do not support it. That's the most recent polling.
We do not support it. No one supports this. We have problems here. We have an invasion happening right now here, but yet we're worried about someone else's borders. That makes no sense. Y'all know I talk about all the time. Charity starts at home. We have to protect our own borders first before we go off and try to protect someone else's and give money to protect someone else's.
Of Americans and the majority of Republicans do not support funding Ukraine. People want to see a peace deal in Ukraine, not murdering more Ukrainians and more Russians.
And now they're so afraid of Trump winning. They're trying to make it where they send in a whole bunch of money to Ukraine now so they don't have to worry about funding it when Trump get in, because they know when Trump wins in 2024, he's going to put an end to this crap. So they're trying to hurry up and put together a plan to send even more money to Ukraine before Trump get in office.
This needs to end. But no, Mike Johnson has made a complete departure of who he is and what he stands for. And to the point where people are literally asking, is he blackmailed? What is wrong with him? Because he's completely disconnected with what we want.
Do you think he is being blackmailed?
I have no idea. I can't comprehend, Tucker, what radically changes a man. I mean, if we break down the second part of basically an omnibus, let's break that down. So Mike Johnson is pro-life. In the second part of the omnibus, just less than 2 weeks ago, he funded full-term abortion clinics. Full-term abortion clinics. He funded the trans agenda on children. I mean, how does that even happen from a Christian conservative Republican speaker? He did nothing for the southern border, did nothing to secure the border. And this comes on the heels of Laken Riley being brutally murdered. This came on the heels of a video that was running on loop on social media where illegal aliens had rushed our border, ran over Texas National Guard, ran over Border Patrol agents in order to invade our country. These were military-aged men, by the way. He did nothing to secure a border. It's the #1 issue in the world. He completely changed who he was, funded the FBI, gave him a brand new building, fully funded the Department of Justice that is persecuting everyone on the right and actually targeting our presidential candidate for election this year, literally trying to put him in jail the rest of his life. We don't know who Mike Johnson is anymore, so there's I can't comprehend it.
Well, I have noticed just from living in Washington for so long that a lot of the top decision makers are lying about their personal lives, and there's something really amiss there. I would definitely say Mitch McConnell would be among those. And there does seem to be a connection between the creepiness of your personal life and the deception around your personal life.
And that's true. I'm telling you, you cannot get that high up in power. You cannot get in government and get that high up without them having some type of dirt on you so they can control and manipulate you.
And your willingness to vote with the other side. I mean, have you noticed this at all?
Absolutely. And I think it's something that the American people are extremely aware of because none of it makes sense. Yeah. How do you become Speaker of the House? And let's look at that. It's basically like there's Establishment Washington runs like a company. We could call it the firm. Well, Mike Johnson just got promoted to senior partner at the firm because he has been obeying their every single demand. He funded the military. He funded the military-industrial complex and everything that they want done. He funded Biden's open border invasion. He funded the Green New Deal, the climate agenda. He funded full-term abortion clinics, the trans agenda on kids. He funded every single thing that the firm stands for and what they're trying to push on the rest of the world. This is the agenda for the rest of the world, and they're not hiding it one single bit.
And most people, most Americans don't want this agenda that they're pushing. This is just ridiculous. I don't understand how someone can come in power and be so different, so out of character, like MTG said, unless they have something on him. And I definitely believe that. But let me know what you think. Do you think Mike Johnson is being blackmailed? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.